Do all right, and that means I'm live and uh, unmute you. Are you? You should still be heard by OBS.
Okay, sounds like a deal.
Perfect. Sounds good. All right. Hey everybody, welcome to our pair programming stream. This is something we're hoping to do for I don't know exactly how long. We didn't really talk about that, but for a little bit, at least maybe until you head off to school again, right, Kale?
Oh yeah. We'll see. I mean, like, I don't even know how it's gonna be when I'm at school, so I mean, I have no clue.
I figure that once you're at school, you're going to want to, spend your weekends doing fun things and not necessarily doing
Yo,
more
what are
work.
you talking about? I love coding,
Well,
especially
I
now.
mean, we just don't burn out because we don't need more burned out people.
So
All
my
right.
stream health is now green. That's cool. Okay.
All right, that's a good sign. Okay, so the idea for everyone who's watching this live and also anybody who's watching the VOD is that Kale has been programming for well, I guess we'll do some introductions for that. But you're gonna head off to college like at the end of the summer,
Yep.
and I've been a professional developer for a few years now, like 4, 5. And before that, I was a systems administrator, and so we figure we do some sort of senior junior programming, pair programming before you head off, and we're going to build a stream. What is it? A stream sort of schedule page, but also use that to have the overlays hosted there too. And that will be something that's useful for us for both of our streams, and also something that we can both sort of share out and have going. So let's introduce ourselves. Kale, do you is it okay if I put you on a spot, or do you want to go
Yeah.
second?
I'll go for it. I'm Kael. I just graduated high school. Going to UT for computer science, and I enjoy coding and running.
All right. How long have you been coding?
Like 4 years, 4.5, four. I'd say 4 years.
4 years. Okay, awesome. So I am Brooks. I am let's see, I've been coding for since 2006. That's when I got a job as a systems administrator at NASA as a contractor, and I didn't think I was coding. I just realized shortly thereafter that writing shell scripts that are very complicated, that are doing some really amazing things, turns out that it's coding. And so I then went from there, and after 8 years decided to become a true software developer instead of just a systems administrator. Went to one of those boot camps for so I can learn the front end and CSS and JavaScript, and then sort of got a variety of jobs that includes things like working for agencies, working for a Galvanize, where I did some teaching. I left there significantly before they had their recent layoffs, and then went back into the programming world. And I'm about to start a new job tomorrow, where my title will be Director of Platform Development.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I mean, I
It's
usually try
been
to
quite
hit
13
hard.
years. Yeah.
I usually try to hit hard. I learned that the first time when I was introduced to teach a class, and I just sort of like, I've been programming for a few years and doing this, and then they all asked, like a bunch of students asked for refunds because they're like, you're giving us an instructor that doesn't know anything, and then later on they're like,
Yeah.
wait, you worked for NASA and you've been programming for a long time? I'm like, yeah, and he's like, you should have told us that at the beginning.
What the heck?
Yeah, what are you doing? All right, I'm gonna find your. I need to mute your. Oh no, okay. It didn't do that right away. Okay. Perfect. Kalinator. K is it Kalinator? I cannot pronounce that.
Kalinator.
I am sending this off to my chat.
All right.
So find.
Still got one viewer. I don't know how I still have one viewer.
Find Kael at his channel at blah. So are you in? You're connected with.
Yep.
You are. So you're looking at the README.
Yep.
All right, perfect. So the stack today. I asked Kael what stack he wanted, and well, I also told you what I was learning for my new job that's starting tomorrow, and so I'm learning PHP, Laravel, and Vue, and you said that you'd like to learn that too.
Indeed. I've got a little bit of PHP experience. I would hardly even call it that because that was literally what I started off with, and I didn't even know pretty much anything. So,
do you remember what version that was?
No, I don't. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I still have some of the code, but yeah, I have no clue.
All right. So we're working with. Let's see what version I have here. Also, can you see the terminal? Do you have access to this terminal? Mm-hmm. Perfect.
I'm pretty sure I can even. Oh no, it's a read-only terminal.
All right. Well, then let me change that.
I can request the read and write access.
Oh, okay. Make terminal read write for everyone.
Hey.
There you
go. No.
I'll be like Control C, Control C.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Edel Necht, PHP Echo Hello World. I'm a PHP programmer now. Well, I mean, if you do that for any language, you're whatever language programmer, right? Okay, so if I do PHP-V, we're running 7.2.19. So that's the version.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah,
but and the way we're doing this pair programming setup is that I have this code on my computer here locally, and I'm also on GitHub. This is hosted. Let me pull up Chromium. There. It's hosted over here. I will share this link out with my Twitch chat. I'll also send it to you, Kael, so that you could share it with your Twitch chat.
So what is this link?
This is a link to the code.
Is it like read only, I guess? Or oh, that's a literal. Okay,
yeah, the literal link to the code.
I was thinking I'm just gonna. I guess I could just put this into the description real quick.
Yeah, I don't remember how YouTube streaming works. Anyways, if you can't tell and you're just joining us, we're doing a pair programming stream, and also this is the first time we're doing it as a stream, and so therefore it's probably going to be a little bit iffy for the first for this first session as we sort of figure things out. But we'll get smoothed out as we go along, and then everything will be awesome.
Sounds like a deal. It's first try, mute. There we go. Okay. I opened up yours, so.
Oh. Yeah, you don't need to click on the link.
Whatever, It's nice to know. Okay. So, what's the first, I don't even know what to do first.
All right. So with most modern, the stack is PHP is the language. Laravel is I guess it could be considered a full stack framework, but it's mostly a framework for the back end. So I know that you've used Node.js and Express a lot. So I guess you can kind of think of it as Express for PHP, except it's a little bit more involved. I would say it's closer in reality. If anybody is familiar with Rails with Ruby, it's a little bit closer to that because it does a whole bunch of stuff for you behind the scenes. And if you're not familiar with how programming works, it's going to look like black magic.
Okay.
But yeah, But the point of Laravel is to sort of get all of that boring stuff out of the way so you can concentrate on the fun stuff, which is making things happen on the screen and for your users. So with that being said, can I do Laravel-version? Does that? So I'm using Laravel installer 210. It's the latest one from like 4 weeks ago to 3 weeks ago or so. So I think it's like 5.7, I want to say, but I can't remember how to actually get the real version. But what we're going to do is, and I'll let you do this, we're in the streaming overlays directory here. Oh, and one last thing, I set up this new stuff. And I don't remember how it works. It's for you, Twitch chat. I have Twitch highlighter installed, which allows you to say things like, where is it? Bang, highlight, and then line number. And it will highlight whatever line number. So if we screw up, you can highlight it for us.
Oh, whoa, that's nuts.
Yep. If it gets too crazy and everybody just starts highlighting everything just to, mess around with us, we may have to turn it off. But we have that. Unfortunately, it won't work on Kael's channel because it's not set up for YouTube chat.
Bummer.
All right.
Okay.
with that out of the way, let's go ahead and create this project. We're in an empty directory here. We have only the license and the README files. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the Laravel CLI tool. So just Laravel space and then the new keyword. And then we can just name whatever project we want it to be, and it will create a basic project for us.
Oh, nuts. Is it like, will it go into the streaming overlays directory or the current directory?
It will create a new directory in here.
Oh, okay. In the streaming overlays? Because that's where we seem to be.
Yeah, so we're in streaming overlays. So
okay,
let's go ahead and do that.
So like, what I would do is if I want to create it in, like, I feel like it'd be a dot, right? Or is that incorrect?
Well, okay. So I guess like what's the what do we want to do here? Do we want it to create a new directory inside of this folder, or do we want it to sort of like use this folder and then just go from there?
I would say use this folder.
Okay.
Is that what we want? I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
we could try it. We could try that, and we'll see what happens. My guess is that it may overwrite and delete this license and README file, but we don't really have much in there.
Okay.
So
well,
we need the new keyword though. So Laravel new dot.
Okay, new dot. Okay, and we'll just go for
it. Yeah, go for it.
Application already exists. Huh. Interesting.
Well. So it's saying that because we have some folder files in here already and it's like freaked out a little bit, we can force it.
Okay, let's force it. Hey. There we go.
Yeah, so as you can see, it installs a lot of things.
Can't be larger than node modules, right? Yeah, that was easy.
All right. So you're a PHP developer now. As we can see over on the left, we have a ton of folders and files that now exist.
So they have. I don't see a git. There's the git ignore. Okay.
Yes, good. They gave us a git ignore. In fact, they gave us a lot of git.
They gave us a .env too. Wow.
Yeah.
That's lovely. It's like built in already.
Yeah, if you take a look at the .env, it has a whole bunch of default environment variables for us. Obviously, this is just for development only. We'll have to recreate all of these if we want to deploy this somewhere.
Okay. Hey, AWS. So this does... Well, I mean, since it's backend, it's not necessarily serverless, but...
Well, not all of AWS is serverless.
Right. Yeah.
My guess is the AWS thing is mostly going to be for because I noticed this AWS bucket that tells me it's for S3.
S3. Okay. Yeah. that makes sense. That's
Um,
nice.
yeah. So, uh, sorry about that. Let's go through and do a quick tour and take a look at what things are going. First of all, before we do anything else, let's start serving this. And I believe that this will work for both of our computers here. If we do PHP space artisan space serve.
Hey,
Yeah, there
all
we go.
right.
So I'm sharing port 8000 with you.
So this is it. Looking snazzy.
Yeah. So do you have that opened up on your computer?
I do. It's like
Nice.
full screened.
So unfortunately, Laravel doesn't come with an auto reloader like most of the other frameworks do. So if we make any changes, we're going to have to manually hit refresh like cavemen.
Fun.
But like this, it gives us this nice sort of basic HTML page here. If we want to go find this and like make updates to it, it's going to be in the resources directory
Resources. And views.
and views.
Okay, sweet.
And then there's this entire welcome.blade.php.
Welcome.blade. Huh. Wait, welcome. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I was in the file. I was trying to search in the file.
So, have you ever used a templating HTML language before?
Yes. Oh, if you'd call Pug that, I used Pug.
Oh,
Um,
yes, Pug.
Handlebars, I did a little bit of handlebars too.
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit closer to handlebars than Pug.
Okay.
Pug like reminds me a lot of Python with like a lack of everything.
Sweet.
This still looks like HTML and it acts like HTML, but the idea is that there's these handlebars that you can use that gives us access to the entire PHP Laravel ecosystem, and then you could just get whatever's passed in and inject it in there.
Okay. Wow.
Now, this entire main page here, we don't need it. It's mainly there for example, and we're
Right.
probably going to like just select it all and delete it. So the question is going to be, what do we want to replace it with? And maybe for that, we should go to planning stage.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking what we are building. So I'm in the README.
All right. You're in the README. Okay.
Yeah. I think I can like ping you. How does that work?
So if I'm in the git ignore.
Oh yeah, this is the focus.
Oh, hang on. Don't save. There we go. Okay. So can you like bring me to where you are or something?
Yeah, I try to focus you. Did you?
I don't think. Let's try it again.
Focus participants.
Yeah, that time it did. I guess I was doing something and I didn't realize it actually did focus me.
Okay. So I figure what we can do is create a sort of a checklist of what we're going to build with this. And we're not necessarily going to worry about building it all today. This can be an ongoing thing, so it could take us multiple sessions. We're only going to go for, it's a 2-hour stream today, so that's what, 7, we start at 7:10, so it's until around, well, 7:10 Mountain Time, until around, what, 9, 9:10?
9:10 for me.
Yeah.
And then
Well, for me.
8:10.
For you, it would be
Oh, yeah,
10:10.
10:10. Yeah.
I know, we're an hour off, so everything's a little bit fun when we talk about time. Just like real development.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I haven't actually worked the time that much, but
10:10:1. Okay, so let us figure out what it is that we really want. Not necessarily like the steps for like that we're going to take, but what is the end result for the users? which we're the users too. So that makes it a little bit confusing. But I found when planning out software to think from the user's point of view more than from the programmer's point of view is really helpful.
Okay. So as a user, I mean, I don't really know what I'd want because I don't even know what I'd do for a streaming overlay, really. But I mean, at the very basic, I would say have text that can change to other text on a set duration.
Text can change other text in a set duration.
No, I mean like you have this text area and that switches between multiple texts essentially. It's kind of like I don't know. That's what I saw. Uh, what was his name? Matthias. I forgot his name. Fun function.
Oh, MPJ. MPJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched his streams. I've only watched his main videos. Well, I figure like that's actually a really really good interesting idea because if we're creating this but we're both planning on using it, do we both want the exact same overlay or do we want to be able to customize it for ourselves?
Yeah, I think the customization. Yep.
Yeah, so we probably want some ability to sort of have a template or something else that we can use, but like we want to be able to say like, okay, this is mine. Here's the code, and then like sort of drop that somewhere, and then Laravel will just sort of post that up and use it.
Okay.
Okay, so but the other thing is a schedule page would probably be a little bit more like also. So if we have like a schedule page, that way people can see like when we're going to stream.
Mm-hmm.
And then we want the overlay section. Overlay pages. And in either of these, we want the ability for like us to be able to sort of like set them.
Yeah. Multiple different users.
Yeah. So like
Okay.
with overlay, it's going to be really important that ours don't look exactly the same, that we can customize it for ourselves. The easiest way to do this probably is to just code directly into a file. Mm-hmm. But the other way that we could do this is actually have this like in where is it? We could have this in like hosted separately in like a JavaScript file and HTML files, and then pull them in. And so like use Markdown or something.
So I mean, Markdown would be pretty neat, so that you didn't have to know how to program in order to have an overlay. You know?
Yeah. And I feel that Markdown is ubiquitous enough now that if you're a streamer, you're probably going to need to use it just at the very basics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if you use Reddit, then you probably know enough to get started or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, perhaps. Although the number of people that accidentally set Reddit posts to be the wrong thing, I don't know if that's fully there. But as developers, we should definitely know this. And I'm guessing that we're not about to take over Streamlabs, so I'm guessing that we're only going to attract other developers who want to check out our code.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, you're right about that, probably.
Okay, so it's one of the interesting things that I've noticed is oftentimes we as developers can sort of overestimate the impact that we're going to have with our code, and then that can cause us to get a little bit overconfident with how things are going to work.
Okay, yeah. Should we go with a single page first and then make it multi-page, I guess?
Yeah, we could definitely do that. We could have we can definitely have a single page that just sort of works with that, and then we can update it and modify that. I'm a huge proponent of the sort of agile method of programming, which is basically planning as we're working. So every single time we come in, we're like, okay, let's add this feature. Okay, we need to refactor. Then let's go ahead and refactor. And then at the end of that, we'll retro. How did it work? What do we need to do differently next time?
Okay.
So
sounds like a deal.
What do we need to do for a schedule page?
Well, I I don't know. What would we need to do?
Let's see. I'm thinking. Well, we need like a basic default template.
Would we want
Um,
like an entire calendar?
you know, I'm I'm not sure an entire calendar would be helpful because I'm thinking like, okay, if I'm going to someone else's stream, like their
Hmm.
page, and I'm gonna look at like, hey, when are you streaming? I don't really want to click on like a calendar thing and say like, oh look, on next Wednesday they're gonna be streaming at like 4 p.m. to like 5 p.m. and then the Wednesday after. Like it's usually the same week to week, right?
Yeah, so you think just kind of a list telling you, oh
Yeah.
yeah, here's the next one upcoming, and then ones down the line.
Ooh, yeah. So it can have like, hey, it could be aware of what day we're on, and then
Okay.
show like, hey, the next stream is going to be this one. So I'm thinking like a basic default template that we can come up with that has the times.
Hmm.
We're also, because even if we're going to have just a single page that's the same between yours and mine right now,
Hmm.
and then we'll be able to log in as admin. So admin page
Oh
to
yes.
set the schedule. And also because I think about this a lot, if we're not able to make a stream, we should be able to mark that as we're not going to be able to make the stream. So mark stream not happening and why. Uh, that way, like, hey, why aren't they streaming? Let's go over to the page. Oh, look, they're,
It's been canceled or something
right. It's like the
for this
electricity is out
reason.
or something like that. And so they
Yeah.
update on their phone. And I think like the end of that, we can maybe like for a future stretch goal would be to upload template. So like upload, I guess it will be Markdown and CSS template for. I don't know if I want. Yeah, I don't even know if like up to maybe it would be just like choose template to show for schedule page. We could probably just
Okay.
write the schedules ourselves, and
Mhm.
then if like people request new ones, then we'll go ahead and add them in there. Then it will become a choice to choose from.
Okay.
Um, Tamos, that it's purple on my screen over black, which is really hard to read. But welcome to the stream. Just write crappy code, have a big impact. Yes, actually, like surprisingly, that works out a lot in the real world. What am I building? We are building a schedule page with overlays for our streams because I have currently I have just this right now, which, as you can imagine, is not the most beautiful starting soon overlay. So I'm going to be doing something a little bit better. So this will be like the features for the schedule page. And for the overlay, um, what do we want for that?
uh I mean, okay, so I think you should be able to like at least upload images, I guess. Do you think?
Upload images, like
I don't
oh,
know how customizable we want this. Like,
so if we start really simple, right?
mhm.
Like we need a starting soon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We need a break, and we need a ending. But the really big one, the one that's like the fun one to do, is
Mhm.
the what is it like the active, like the main.
Like while you're streaming, I guess.
Yeah, the main overlay, the one that like you can have random like people's heads show up, and you know,
Yeah, yeah.
rewards for bits like flying over the screen and stuff like that. That's also like possible to do, and that would be in this, like basically in any of these. You can have those happening,
Okay.
and all that it means by overlay is if I bring OBS over, which this will be fun, because now I've got infinite windows. Okay, so with OBS over here, we can create a new source, and it can be a Linux, like a browser. And so if I were to do that, it would actually be able to like show up anywhere. I am not going to do that right now because Linux browser looks ugly. But so we can then just create these web pages, set them as these overlays as the browser source, and then just put them on top of the mainstream.
Okay. So when you were talking about the main overlay and having the animations, how would we essentially hook up to Twitch or whatever services giving us, whenever somebody bits or something? I don't know how you call it, but
well, yeah. So it's bits on Twitch. I don't know. Is it super chat on YouTube?
yeah, I have no clue. It beats me. It says chat. It just says chat.
Okay. Wait, are you a partner with YouTube?
No.
Okay, that would be it, because I don't think you can get like super chats or like the paid chats unless you're like the equivalent of affiliate or partner with Twitch with YouTube.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, but what you can do is you can get access to the chat, and I don't know about YouTube, but in Twitch there is a web socket that you can connect to.
Okay.
And so what that means is we wouldn't have to do anything on the Laravel PHP side. This would all be in a JavaScript side. So okay. I guess like these would be the pages here, right? But with all of these, there would also be connect to chat. I guess do this.
Oh yeah, we could have like a chat page too, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing like these are the basic pages that we have, but the connect to chat like might work with all of them, and that way we can say like, okay, what are things that we want necessarily to like show up on the screen?
I mean, just basic things I could think of is viewer count, follower count, maybe.
Okay. Viewer count. I don't actually think I've seen viewer count shown before. Like, I don't think most people use that.
Okay.
Like follower, like when people follow, maybe.
Okay, that sounds better.
So when someone follows, which is subscribes in YouTube.
Yes.
I know that the wording here is going to be really interesting. Oh, Savros Darkin, you've seen some people do viewer count, maybe 2 out of 5 people. So this is more of like a business type thing. If we're not big streamers, like for example, I've got 10 viewers right now.
Yes.
A viewer count when you have a low view count is actually damaging to the view count, because it could cause people to say like, well, I don't want to go watch that. They don't have very many viewers. We can lie and just say like, hey, minimum of 255.
Yeah, just add on like yeah.
Yeah, no, it's something that I can see like the 2,000 or so people, like viewers, could potentially do, because like at that point in time you want to show off.
Right.
Okay, so when someone follows, subscribes, although I personally don't like the idea of like showing up the name when they follow, subscribe,
Okay.
unless they want that name to show up. But you could have something cool happen on screen when it happens.
Okay. Do you think we should have the option to, or?
Yeah, I'm actually thinking creating like a little library here would be really interesting where instead of like us actually doing something, we create a JavaScript library that you sort of pull in. It will you hand it whatever information you need to. It will then connect to the chat and then hand you events like call your functions when somebody
Okay.
follows and subscribes. You have to
Yeah.
write all
Okay.
the stuff yourself for it to do the thing.
So there's no library that we can use. You're saying we would be creating that essentially?
I'm not saying there's no library we can use. I'm just saying it's probably if our point, like the real point of us doing this is to learn, right?
Right.
Yeah. So then we probably want to do it ourselves just to learn,
Okay.
as opposed to yeah. Otherwise, we just use Streamlabs and then get it done really quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
Um. Oh yeah, Savos. It could be redundant. Yeah, I really think that it's mostly a it's like a marketing gimmick to get to like show the view count as is an attempt to get more people to come in to like, especially if you have a like a reward system where you're like, okay, as soon as we hit X viewers, I'm going to do something crazy, and then that might cause people to go share that on social media to get the so that they can see what that person is going to do. Let's see. Okay, so when somebody follows, subscribes, let's see. What are other things? When somebody spends bits, when bits are spent.
So I don't really know what bits are.
Okay, so unfortunately, bits are Twitch only. It's a way for people to you spend money and you well you can get bits for free, but like around 5 at a time, and
Uh-huh.
they're about 1 penny per bit,
Okay.
and you can do a special chat emoji with them, and that gives those bits as a one for one. So like all the pennies go to the streamer.
Oh
When
wow.
you
Okay.
if you buy the bits, you spend more than the bits. So like what, like $5 might give you a slightly less than $5 worth of bits.
Hmm.
Viable clan member, welcome. Types, properties, and PHP. Okay, that might be interesting. I will take a look at that later. Uh, I'm. I don't. I think that YouTube has super chat, which is the same thing,
Okay.
but for YouTube. Again, you can't do bits with Twitch or YouTube, the equivalent with YouTube, unless you're like a partner in some way.
Right.
And
I
I have no
kind
idea.
of. I mean, I don't have like AdSense set up, but I I do have like I don't even know. Whatever. I have no clue. Like
So somebody else, what is it? Oh, Savos mentioned a donation goal, so or like a
mhm.
bit goal. So like I guess what that can be is we could have a like a visualization. So visualization for
So it's
goals.
almost you can just do it through a web browser. No need for a desktop app. I guess you could run it through an Electron, but as long as you've got either Firefox or Chrome and you've got the page up, it should work, right?
It's
Or
actually
is
through
that not how it works?
it's actually through OBS. So OBS has a web browser built into it, and I
Oh,
believe
you
it's
don't even
based.
need it up?
Yeah, no, you don't need it up on yourself
Oh,
like
wow.
separately, unless you yourself want to see it.
Okay.
It's like a lot of people with like Streamlabs with the notifications for when people spend bits or other things, you might miss it in the
Mhm.
chat. So they have a admin page you can go to on like a phone or like another window, and that will just show what they did to your screen.
Okay. Okay. Lovely.
So that's actually a really good idea. We probably want that too.
Mhm.
So this won't be a. This is separate than an overlay page. Then we're gonna want a. What is this? Like a notification page.
Okay.
So that'll just
For
show.
the streamer.
Yeah, for the streamer. So, that way, if people like spend bits, then you're like, hey, I want to acknowledge that you spent the bits. And if I was like, let's say I'm really programming and focusing, I might miss that.
Right. Right. It honestly, it'd be cool if you could get actual desktop notifications. I know I don't think it's a new API, but recently I've seen, oh, this site wants to send you notifications, and it'd be cool to know how to do that.
Oh, yeah. So in that case, we would have to have the page open in another browser too, in order for those notifications to be up, because I don't think you can get notifications unless the browser is open.
Okay.
At least on the way I've set it up, like I've never allowed notifications to happen outside of the browser being on. The APIs wouldn't be up and running.
Okay.
That would,
That's Crossbow described it. So I guess not necessarily notification page, but dashboard.
ooh, yeah, that's exactly right.
Dashboard page. I'm just gonna rename it, I guess. Board. There we go. Okay.
Okay. We just want this to be like really simple for this Twitch chat. So we know we want like to connect to chat when someone follows subscribes, when bits are spent. So like these two would probably be good. A visualization for a goal maybe, and then what's maybe like an actual one more visualization for visualization. I don't know why I have trouble spelling that. For bits spent. Then maybe 3. We'll do visualization for follows or subscribes. That's that. Okay, we'll just do that.
Okay.
3 visualizations, 2 events, and then here's my idea: is in the admin page. So we have the schedule page. We're gonna need to add this in. I guess dashboard will have this too, won't it? No, dashboard just shows like what's happening.
Yeah, just random alerts or something, or
Yeah, so admin page, we can do things like say, okay, set schedule, set streaming schedule. We also want to choose what visualizations to use. I'm not completely sure like how that's going to work.
I don't know either. I mean, is there like a linter? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I have it set up on VS Code to auto like fix things, and I think I have a markdown linter in here.
Lovely. Okay. Awesome.
I know I'm not completely sure I really like the way that sets this up, but I'm too lazy to go and like customize it.
Yeah.
Dashboard for streamer. I think all we really need for this is it's going to be like a list of bits spent and who sent them, and maybe list of subscribers. So I think that might be good.
Sweet.
Um, bits/super chats. I'm hoping that the API we get for, like, you're probably gonna have to figure out the super chats for YouTube.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to
So
like look up some documentation on that.
yeah,
Would it be interesting? Is there like a good so Streamlabs, do they do Twitch and YouTube? Do they have support for YouTube or
that's a really good question. Since I've never actually used Streamlabs, I don't know.
I had never heard of Streamlabs, but I don't know. So Deeds asks, don't know if you've got any experience in it. I've recently been focused on getting into embedded development. Whoa. Um, yeah, I don't know anything about embedded development. I can't
Um,
even pronounce the word.
so embedded development is basically where you're writing programs and code that's going to be used on devices. So, for example,
like like Arduino, right?
like I have this
Like a
right
circuit.
here. Yeah. So imagine something like this.
Yeah.
Um, the what's really interesting is that you can write all of your code on just like put it on GitHub, and then depending upon what device you actually get, it's going to be fairly trivial to then put that code onto the embedded device. So this is a Raspberry Pi I have. I can actually SSH into the Raspberry Pi, get pull, and then that deploys it.
Oh wow.
If you have an Arduino, it's a little bit more work because you don't usually SSH into it, but there's another interface. So full recommendation. Whatever you're used to. A lot of people will sort of downplay Windows as a development environment because, well, it's Windows and everybody hates Windows and Microsoft. But in the end, whatever allows you to work is best. In fact, Windows 10 allows you to install Ubuntu as a subsystem. So you can just actually have Linux in Windows.
What the heck?
I know. Are you using Windows, Kael?
Yeah, I'm on Windows 10 on this. I've got Linux on my laptop, but
Yeah. So if you, let's see, yeah, you could definitely install the Linux subsystem and then sort of use that to do a lot of the Linuxy things that you'd need. And you can go back and forth between Windows and Linux really easily because you're not having to like reboot. It's not like an actual Linux boot.
what the heck? What in the world? I mean, I had a virtual machine, but obviously that's different to what you're talking about.
They're using virtual machines behind the scenes, but
Okay.
it's basically it's welcome to the new Microsoft. They're embracing Linux.
Good for them.
Absolutely, I'm a huge fan of like where things are heading. All right, is there anything else that we want to add to this?
You know, nope. Nothing I know.
Okay, so orders of these things. Let's see. So schedule page. I think the schedule page could be their first thing because it's not going to be quite as complicated as
I agree.
like the rest of this stuff. So I'm going to move schedule page. I'm going to
So
move
we're
admin
gonna
page
need
above.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. So if admin page is here, we're going to schedule page, basic default, template, schedule. That. Schedule cancel stream with reason, choose template to show for a schedule page. I'm thinking that we can do that with sort of built-in data that like baked-in data, and then the admin page will allow us to sort of set that data later.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
All right. So,
Sounds good.
all right. It's been almost an hour. Let's quick stretch because
Yep.
it's important not to just sit around for 8 hours a day coding and not
I
like
don't want
move.
blood clots. You can't see me right now, but I'm doing toe touches.
Oh, like you're standing up and doing that?
Yeah.
I can do that too. I can stand up and stretch. I'll be slightly out of the screen. Okay. So we have that. We have a plan. We know what we're doing.
Awesome.
So if we begin with the schedule page, basic default template. In fact, before we even get there, let's actually set this up with GitHub here. I think all of these files are fine. If I look for the .env, for example, it's not here. So we're good to go.
Okay.
And
I opened the .env. I don't know if I should be doing that on stream, but
let's see. What am I calling this? It's well, like I guess just basic Laravel app setup. Also, notice that it auto puts this in co-authored with Kael. Hopefully, I'm sorry that your email is now published.
Okay.
Now, what's really cool, file. Oh, we need to save. Cancel. Save the README. Add the README. Send that up and push up. Okay, so the really cool thing about GitHub is that if you do that entire collaborated with, it gives you official credit in GitHub.
Really? Whoa, that's nuts.
Yeah, so if you come over here to the streaming overlays, where is it? Now it just shows Brooks and Kalinator did this. And so there's now going to be a link to what commits you created. Now, of course, right now they're kind of under my account, but they now reference your account. So it shows like, hey, it wasn't just me doing this, it was you.
Okay. Well, awesome. Oh, it's literally the both of us.
Right.
What? That's odd. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's like a lesser known feature that GitHub has that I think is actually I think it's Git has. That's a really nice sort of touch.
You think it's Git? Okay.
I think it's Git because I haven't tested. I don't know if GitLab and Bitbucket and the other ones support it, but I would hope that they do.
Yeah. All right. So the schedule page, do you think we should just mock out a page real quick and see how we want it to look and where the data should go?
Yeah, so I think what we should do is exactly that. We're going to our welcome blade template, we can change that to be just the schedule page. So if anybody comes to the actual page that we set up, this is going to be it.
Going in Zen mode. You know what? I don't
now,
really
what's really interesting is that if we want this to be multiple people, it's going to be a little bit interesting, isn't it? Because if we go like how do we want the URL to work for this?
Do you comment just like this? I guess, yeah.
Where are you? Can you
Yeah, let me find
focus me so I can see.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. HBS. So if we do something like I don't know, streaming schedule or something like that, slat.com.
Oh, oopsies. Why did it put yours right there? That was weird.
Because as you went, I guess I don't know. It's not perfect. It's not exactly Google Docs, but it's close enough.
So I'm gonna propose a second idea. I don't think this is the same one.
Okay, so this is sort of my initial idea.
So for yours, we'd have the slash. Oh, why does it keep doing that? Slash main or something, main overlay or slash. I don't know, dashboard or something or admin, right? Is that where you'd put it? I guess. Yeah.
So like the schedule would be under just the main domain with the name, and then we would go to like admin or dashboard for everything else. That would require us to be logged in.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
With the overlays not being required to logged in, but they're kind of useless to anybody unless like they're actually streaming.
Okay.
So I like yours more. From
The only reason I
from a
like
usage
it,
point of view.
yeah. I mean, I just like it because I don't know how to do that. So,
So to me, I to me I like doing the top one first because I don't have to deal with DNS. that's
yeah.
that's the main thing.
That was always a headache for me too. Yeah.
Yeah. So the problem that I see is that if we do something like the Kalinator dot streaming dash schedule, we're going to need to set up like an auto DNS system so that when you sign up for this service, it creates a new subdomain for that person.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we should? Because I don't know how to do that, but I really do want to know. But that sounds pretty complicated for the beginning.
Yeah, I actually don't know how to do that myself because I've never actually needed to do that.
Right.
That would probably be an entirely another sort of like a test thing. So it shouldn't be that complicated to do it this first way first and then switch it to this.
And then switch it.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's do that.
And when I say that complicated, I mean from our code side, the DNS side is probably going to be complicated.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know why this keeps happening. It keeps like jumping me to the top of the page.
Oh, that's interesting. It's not jumping me to the top of the page.
Huh, it just did it again. I don't know why that's doing that. Like, I can backspace. When I hit backspace, it did it. If I do it again, maybe it's just backspace. Oh, and enter. Backspace.
What's interesting is that I'm seeing that your focus is still on the same space. So it's not looking to me like you're jumping up to the top of the page.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, my focus stays the same. My scroll bar just jumps up high. It seems to be whenever I change lines. I mean, not change lines, but create new line or delete a line. Even if I hit Control Z, like that's deleting a line when I hit Control Z. So it's like.
So basically, I'll just create a bunch of empty lines for you, and you can play around in those.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. So we'll see. Oh
yeah, and then the linter.
then the linter is like, nope, you're only gonna have one extra line. Okay, so this is gonna be the plan for right now. What that means is that our welcome page is actually going to be, because just this. Also, I don't have DNS for this, so it's not going to exist like that. Whatever.
Yeah, somebody's gonna snipe it and actually register it before we can.
Well, I'm not actually thinking of getting a screaming schedule. I'm thinking something else. Okay. Because this is I don't know. Most people I think are gonna want to create their own DNS and then point it at this. So that way they don't have to. It doesn't have to look like any kind of like special thing. Also, my idea is that initially, let's not. In fact, what do you think about? Do we want it to like one deploy it and both of our stuff is on there? I think that's probably the best way to do it, as opposed to us forking this and deploying it separately.
Yeah, let's just have them both.
Okay, so screamerschedule.com. This is going to be like a landing page that has a sign up. Sign up link.
And maybe a description or something.
Yeah, it's going to be like a very basic. We probably don't need to worry about this right now because we're just building actively and we're not trying to sell it. But this is where it's going to get really interesting because this is where the schedule is actually going to live.
Okay, great.
So what that means is that the welcome page that we have in PHP, the welcome.blade.php, we're going to make that this one.
Okay.
So we probably want to just change it, like make it a new one, which is like welcome to the streaming schedule page or whatever the name of the app that we decide it is.
Okay. Sounds like a deal. Shall we change the name of the file? Like, what is Blade? What is .blade?
Oh, yeah. So the name of this templating engine that we're using is called Blade. And the way that Laravel knows that it's a template is the name. So it's going to be like custom name dot blade dot php. So we're always going to have dot blade. We're always going to have dot php.
Okay, great.
So we can actually change welcome to whatever we want. We can even delete the file and change it to something like index.blade or landing.blade. It doesn't really matter.
Landing. Right. Landing sounds hipster to me.
Okay.
I wonder if I can do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We could rename it.
Let's try this. Hang on. If I try renaming this. There we go. Okay, that wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, it's deleted mine, so I'm going to close that file and reopen landing. And we don't need any of this. There's a lot of sort of extra stuff in here, so we can just Command A or Control A and delete it all.
Okay. I'll let you do the honors.
Okay. So we're going to delete all of you. And now we can just write in a blank HTML page.
Hang on. Maybe like this?
Yeah. And then what we're going to want to do is just have it just say like, hey, it's welcome to the streaming page.
Welcome to the streaming page. Let's see. Do we I guess the sign up form now, or
well, let's
just an H1.
Let's start with like maybe just like some kind of like hello world or welcome page. That way we can make sure it's working.
Hi there. This is our streaming page.
Yep.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So if we save that, I'll save the README so we don't lose it. Okay, so refresh. What we it's broken. Yeah, we get a welcome not found. And the reason for that is because we just changed the name so it can't find the view. It was looking for welcome.blade.php.
Okay.
So in our page, we're going to go to routes and web.php.
Routes. So that was here and that was web.php. Okay, great.
And this is where all the routes are going to be. So unlike Express, where all the routes just sort of like sit there in different files, we put them all in here, and then we're going to have controllers that sort of we put the logic into.
Okay, great.
So you can
is
see
this function the controller?
Yeah, so you can see like, okay, we have route, so we're initializing a route, and then we're saying, okay, it's a get gonna be route. This could be a post or a put.
Right.
We're gonna keep it as get. It's on slash, and then it's essentially a callback function, and we're gonna return. View is a function that's just provided to us by Laravel. It's a global. Okay. It's a global, and it's going to look for the template named welcome.
Okay.
Which no longer exists.
So landing is what you're saying.
Right.
There we go.
And so if we do that,
so now,
and we save, we come back over here and we hit refresh.
Hey, there, it's our streaming page.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So this is our beautiful, beautiful streaming page. We're going to get so many viewers switching over to this. Just from this. This is gorgeous.
Let's make it even. Oh wait, what was I doing? P tag is what I'm thinking of. So if I had a P tag, I don't know. Welcome, just another welcome. If I save it, neat, yo.
Yep, exactly.
I like
So
this.
there's a it's like handlebars in the fact that we have to write like full HTML essentially, but we're gonna get some
Right.
interesting things that we can do. For example, we may have like a list of streamers, and we might want to inject into here a links to all of their streaming pages, so that we can sort of advertise them off and say like, hey, go take a look at all these people's streaming pages. That can come a little bit later. For right now, we want a sort of like a hello world page for we can do yours first. Although it's really going to be either of ours, right?
Right.
So
Honestly, it's going to be kind of ours conjoined, I guess.
Right, which I'm going to say like let's create it hard coded, and then we'll use a database setup to like figure out which one we're going to.
Okay. So are we doing that on the homepage, or should we create just a get and then hard code Brookzerker or something like that?
Well, what we want to do...
Should we go into... I don't know.
Crossbow, maybe on welcome page, first list, who is online, then other. Ooh, that's a really good idea. So I'm going to add that into... what is it?
Add it
Schedule
to the
page, admin, overlay page, dashboard page for streamers. I'm going to add in here. Oh, that. I'm going to say like a landing page. And we're going to have list of streamers ordered by who is online.
Sweet.
And of course, link to their schedule pages. All right. So that's a super good idea, Crossbow. I'm going to put it down here, which it's not super essential for us to have that right away, so it'll be the last thing we do. But we definitely going to want to do that. Okay, so we're going to want to have like a link. Like we want to go to localhost 8000 / Kaelinator, like that. And then we're going to want to not get a 404 error. We're going to want to get like actually your page. And then if we go to Brookzerker, that should be mine too. Those routes don't exist.
There we go.
I know I was working on my
Yeah, I was
browser,
thinking,
which you
I was
can't
like,
see.
where is he? And I was hoping I was going to be able to see the requests in the terminal, but it doesn't give me much detail there.
Oh, but you can see that I attempted to do that, and
Yes,
all that happened was just a favicon. But yeah, it's not showing what the where I attempted to go, which is a little bit sad.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like an option that you can do.
Oh, there might be, or we can like
In
add our own. Who knows? So
Just have it log, I guess. I don't know.
yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, so what about handling like 404s, I guess?
Well,
because we only have the index defined, really.
So we're gonna want a custom
Is there a
404
route
page.
get star? Yeah,
There
like
is.
That. I don't know.
There is. We'll be able to handle that. But like 404 page, we're just gonna want to like create a custom 404 page.
Okay.
Because the one we have right now is not it's not that helpful. I mean, it's better than just absolutely nothing, but
Oops. Let me see it. Yeah, I mean it looks neat, I guess, but it isn't helpful, you're right.
right. We're gonna want something like, so have you seen GitHubs?
Yeah, where it's like this entire animation.
Yeah, so we could do something that
Dang
is
it!
similar to
I
that.
thought my key mashing was adequate enough, but it wasn't, and there was actually a user with that name. But yeah, this is much more helpful. So yeah.
All right. Now, so this basic idea, we're gonna go to slash and then username, and so the first sort of question that we want to answer is: do we want to do this right, as in have users in a database already, like us is like streamers in a database, and then when you go there, it looks up our name and then finds out, okay, is that really going to like show the thing?
Yeah. Is it an actual person, or does it
Yeah,
exist in the library
and
or
I
in the
kind of
database?
think that we can do this. Laravel makes it pretty easy for us to like start off with a database really quickly.
Oh, okay.
So I'd say let's go ahead and do that. I'm thinking we're going to use SQLite as our database, and the only reason is I just really like SQLite. It's super easy to set up, and it's just a file in a computer.
Okay, great.
Have you
Wow.
used it before?
Nope. I
Nope.
used MySQL, and it was all right, I guess.
Do you have a preference for databases?
uh, I did really like, I like not thinking about the database.
Okay,
But maybe that
well,
was because I was just incompetent. So,
I think you'll like this. So the really cool way of creating a database is we're just going to touch a file. So
okay,
I
lovely.
can do this here. It's gonna be or we can have you do it. So
Okay.
I'll show you where we're gonna do it. In the
Oh,
database,
there's a database. Yeah.
there's a database directory. Inside of there, we're going to create a file named database.sqlite.
Okay. Within the database.
Yeah, within the database
So,
directory.
let's do. Oh, it's. I gotta. You created a new terminal, so I have to request access to
Oh,
that
that
terminal. There we go. Okay. So touch database. Base dot sqlite is what you
yeah,
said.
that's perfect.
Oops, something changed. Did that was odd.
I didn't
You
see
see
you
what happened
press.
there?
It looks
Oh,
like you went
there.
backwards and deleted the E.
Yeah, okay, there. Something weird happened. It opened up the node terminal for some reason. That was really weird. So let's try that, I
All right,
guess.
so this is just an empty file. It's not really. We're not going to want to open it after this because once we actually have data in there, it's not going to be readable by VS Code. But for right now, it's just an empty file. And so we're going to now go into our .env file.
So this is in database. I'm not seeing any new file there.
Database.sqlite. Let me ping you.
Or let's see. I mean, I'm in the README. Is that where you were at?
Nope. I'm in the
Huh.
actual database.sqlite file that you created.
So it tells me you're in the README.
Oh, really? Interesting. Well, okay.
Yeah.
I've got tabs open. I'm in the README also.
Let's
I
see.
don't think I
Yeah, I'm
can.
not seeing any new file for some reason. Let me look on your screen real quick. Yeah, it's there. It's just grayed out for some reason on your
Interesting.
side, it
I
seems.
wonder if your VS Code can't read it for some reason. Either way, it won't really matter. Can you see my? Can you see the .env file?
Where at? The
Uh,
.env under
it's in the root directory. So
just the root. Let's see. Goodness. It's just so like, let's see. .env. I see .env.example.
ooh, okay. So you're unable to actually see any of the hidden files. If you do
Okay.
Command or Control P, can you search for .env?
No, it brought me to .env example. Let me try this again. Oh, yep, yep. There we are. That's really weird. Like, why can't I see that?
So sometimes VS Code is set to not display anything hidden from GitHub in the sidebar.
That's odd, because I mean, hidden from GitHub. Do you mean get ignored or?
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, I usually get everything. Like, it just grays it out, like on yours. It's really
Yeah,
weird.
I don't know. It is a little bit weird. But are you unable to edit this file?
Uh, nope. Looks like I can. And I hope I didn't just break anything, but I
I
reverted my changes. So
I actually can't see you editing the .env file.
if I add a comment, let me. Can you see that?
No.
No. Huh.
That's really
That's
interesting.
odd. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'll just do this. So in for the DB connection, I'm going to switch that to SQLite.
Okay.
DB host is localhost, so 127.0.0.1 is fine. DB port,
Okay.
it's going to ignore that because it's SQLite. Database.
Okay.
Instead of like creating a new database name or anything like that, we're just going to have to give it the fully qualified path to the database. So I'll do this one because I have to start with /home/
So it can't be like a relative route.
It cannot be a relative route, correct. And I found
awkward.
this on the Laravel documentation. It's a little bit weird, but yeah. All right, let's go to PWD, and I'm going to just copy this and put that in here.
All right. Well,
and then, of course, database.SQLite. So this is all we need to have the database stuff start working for us now.
Okay, I can see your changes now. That's interesting.
Okay, interesting. So it waited until I actually like created something and or saved it.
That's so odd.
Okay, so
anyways,
the really cool thing about databases with this is that we can now just immediately start using SQLite. Have you ever used something called migrations?
No.
Okay, so let's just run the first one first. So it's going to be, let's do a PHP artisan.
Okay. Is that good?
Yep. Yeah, that's good.
Just enter.
Oh, we're in the wrong directory. Let's go back. Let's go up one. Yeah, it's. I'm not super happy about this. I wish that Artisan was available everywhere, but it's only available in the root directory of the project.
Okay.
So Artisan is only available for us in Laravel projects. I have no idea if other PHP-based projects have Artisan. I'm sure you can install it, but there's actually an Artisan file that's what's causing this to sort of work for us.
Okay.
But
oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So these are all the commands. So like when we did PHP artisan serve, that's let's see, it's somewhere in here.
I don't even see that. Let's try this. Grep serve. Would that work?
Yep.
Hey, that didn't give us too much.
I mean, it's somewhere. We don't know what line it's on.
Make observer? Make?
Oh, no. There it is. It's in the available commands. It's right at the near the top of it.
At the top. Okay.
Okay. So,
yes.
But the idea is here. There is this. I'm going to have you run the PHP artisan migrate command.
Okay. I saw that under. No, I saw it earlier. No, that's make migration.
Right. So we're not going to make a new migration right this second. We're just going to run the migrations that exist.
So we'd be doing PHP artisan migrate.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, sweet.
And
So
it
migrating.
it did this for us. So it created a users table and a password resets table.
Interesting.
I
What did
know.
those look like?
Well, good question. Let's actually go. We can't really see it in SQLite because it's not that good of a database to like let us truly see what's in there. But
Mm-hmm.
we can see what's up in the. We can go take a look at the actual migrations file and see what it did. So this is going to be under the
So
database directory, migrations,
okay,
and
yeah,
let's go to the create users table.
yep, awesome. So this is just it just created some boilerplate code, I guess.
It actually, this code had already existed here. It was created when we did the Laravel new, but it ran this code when we did the
Oh,
migrate command.
okay. Okay, interesting. So I guess it just the fact that it's in the environment variables as SQLite, like this code is this code like specific to each different uh type of database or
No, and that's the beauty of using a system like this. If you wanted to do this in Node and Express, you could use
Mhm.
something like Nex, Knex.
Okay.
Is just another example of what like a system that abstracts away the specifics of the database and allows you to do this. So it takes this code, converts it into SQL, and then runs that.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Wow.
Yeah, so
uh
this is PHP code that describes SQL code.
that's really weird to think about.
It is. There are some people that might tell you, "Oh, you have to learn SQL to like do everything," and I prefer to start someone off with this because it's abstracted away and something familiar. Although you're new to PHP too, so that's
Right.
fun. But the idea is that you can learn SQL in reverse, right? Because later on you can find out what the commands are that this is
Mhm.
creating, and then go do that yourself if you need to.
Right. Okay. Well,
Um,
awesome.
So what's happening here is every time we run a migrate, it's going to run this up function, and
Mhm.
then it's going to create a user's table if it exists, and it's going to set the ID. It's going to set to automate to increment automatically, and it's
Okay.
going to set a name column, an email verified at column, a password column.
So only if it doesn't exist, it will execute this or
If it exists already, it's gonna probably I think it's gonna error out because it's trying to create a column that already exists.
okay.
Which is the reason why you don't want to ever manually manipulate the database yourself. You don't ever want to like connect in to using like let's see, you're using MySQL. I don't know what the interactive commands for MySQL are, but like for Postgres, it would be PSQL. Um,
Mhm.
and you don't want to go in there and say like, okay, I want to create this column and do that. You always want to do it through the migrations.
Okay. Good
Nudak,
to know.
hi, welcome to the stream. Um, so this is what we got. So we've got an ID, name, email verified at, password, uh, remember token,
Is that
which
like sounds like a cookie or something?
it might be. We don't. So cool thing is Laravel can take some of the authentication stuff for us, so we don't have to really care
Oh,
about it.
lovely.
And then timestamps. What that really means is it's just creating a created at, updated at, and deleted at.
Awesome.
Um, Actually, don't know if they have the deleted at. But
Yeah,
create at and
I
update
don't
at.
know.
When I write them, sometimes I put deleted at and then soft delete everything else, but that'll be a future thing.
Okay.
So that's what got created. Let's go ahead and create a migration for our streamers. Dealman only created and updated. Okay, thank you. That's good
Yeah, I was
clarification.
thinking like if you were able to do a deleted at and then the row would be gone and then you'd be like, wait a minute.
Well, a lot of companies do soft deletes where they don't actually delete things from their database
Okay.
for either good reasons or nefarious reasons.
Yeah. Okay. So it says like quote unquote deleted, however it's still there.
Yeah, for example, if I wanted to add something in like that, we could do
Mhm.
just following the same idea. This is going to be a Boolean, and then we'll do deleted. So that would be, it would basically say like, okay, if this is set to true, then this account has been deleted.
And don't include it in specific queries or don't bother looking it up when you go to that user's
Right.
web
You'll
page
then
or
have to
something
like
that, I guess.
update all of your queries to like not include deleted ones. But
Yes.
there's
Okay.
some actual real use cases for soft deleting rather than
Yes. I
hard deleting.
mean, even just for historical purposes, that would be a purpose in itself, I guess.
Well, plus, if you have paying users, there's actually, I don't know about other countries, but in America, you have to record down and keep information for like 7 years. So you can't
Wow.
truly delete a paying user account from your system for 7 years.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, because you
That is
have
an
to,
interesting point.
if you get audited, you have to prove that that person paid you and like you had access to them.
Hmm.
I know
Good to know. Good to know.
it's really weird. Like there's reasons for that are not always nefarious, but a lot of companies do sort of keep that around so they can do other things. GDPR, of
Yeah.
course, then makes it the opposite, right? Because now it's like, okay, if you keep it around and you tell people you deleted it, but you kept it anyways, and you didn't tell them that, now you can get into other problems. So we now have multiple countries that make you do different, like do things that are not necessarily good. So good is not the right word. I don't know what I want to say. There are, unfortunately, some countries want you to keep the information so that way you can use it for taxes or for like other recording, and some countries want you to delete it when you actually delete the account and not have any data anymore.
I just had to do a quick right-click search with DuckDuckGo and realize that it's General Data Protection Regulation,
Yeah, and
GDPR.
it's Europe. I think it's all of Europe only right now.
Okay, interesting.
So if we don't have any European customers, then we're fine. We don't have to worry about that. The second we have one European customer, we do have to worry about that.
Make sure we're compliant.
Or the easy way is just go into DNS, and if you come from a European IP address, just for a
block it.
4-page, yeah, block it.
Oh, we don't want to have to do that, no.
No, that's a terrible business practice.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so let's create a migration for our streamers.
Okay, great.
Cool thing is we don't have to create the files for ourselves. We can use the artisan command to create a migration file.
Okay. So I guess it would be like this or something. Let me do this again. So migrate, I see fresh, install, refresh, reset, rollback, status would be somewhere in there.
Well, so those are going to be things that you can do to existing migrations.
Okay. So make, is there a make migration? Yeah.
Well, maybe.
or make model?
It does look like there is a make migration. One thing that we can do for any of these commands is PHP artisan help and then the command name.
Another command. Would I have to preface it with make colon?
Yes. So
Let's see. So create a table. Path, full path. Okay. I don't really know if that's what we want. Do you think if we try making what was it? Make model? I mean, what is a model? Does it create a new eloquent model class?
so we don't need to worry about any of that right this second.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and we're going to create a migration, and let's name the migration create underscore probably streamers.
So migration, what was it? I'm sorry.
Create underscore streamers.
Oh, create streamers. There we go. So that'll be the name argument. So the name of it. Are there any special options we should consider?
No, for right now, we don't really care about any of these special options. Those are to like make things a little bit easier for us if we really know them. But for this, like this is a very simple migration. We don't really need to do anything crazy with that. Tomos, Django has a tool to generate migrations from the changes you make to your models. Is there not something like this for Laravel? I have not seen something like that. We don't really need to touch the models very much.
When you say models, do you mean like that create users table.php?
So
do you mean that up function?
Models is a more computer sciencey term that really means like the data. It's have you heard of MVC?
I've heard of it. I have heard of that. It sounds like a buzzword to me.
Okay, well, it kind of is a buzzword. The M stands for model, and it's basically
model view code.
Is that controller.
Controller. Okay.
Yeah, it's all code. It's
okay,
a way.
Yeah.
It's generally going to be a way to sort of think about the connection to the data in the database. So in PHP Laravel's sake, there's actually going to be a class named that's for models, and we'll deal with that. We'll create a model in a little bit. For right now, we're going to just create this migration.
Okay, let's go for it.
All right, so it created that. Let's go and take a look at the new file we created.
So it just did the basic ID and timestamps.
Right.
Awesome. Can we just delete the create users table and create password resets table?
No, because, well, we're going to want to be able to log in ourselves. So we're going to use them.
Okay.
I'm thinking for streamers, this is not necessarily going to be... Well, actually, you know what? Now that you mention that, let me think about this, because maybe on our users we want to just add something. So instead of like streamers, we have users. Is streamer true or false? That could be a Boolean.
So users that aren't streamers is what you're saying.
Are we ever going to have a user that's just not a streamer? Maybe all of our users are streamers.
I think so, yeah. If they're not a streamer, then they're just an anonymous guest. I mean, we're not...
That's okay.
I guess
that's a really good point. So in this case, we don't actually need this migration right now then, which is too bad. Okay. I was going to show you off how to create the migrations, all that stuff. So let's not worry about this. We can delete this file. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. There's no delete.
Oh, we don't have to do
command.
Okay, there's no.
I know it's a little bit sad that they have that They have the command to create them, but no command to delete them. It's really just a glorified file creator is what we're doing when we're doing the make commands.
Okay.
So we can see right now we have a name, email, verified at. We can actually test this out. So if we go to our page and I think /home. Oh, wait, it doesn't work yet. There is an entire thing that we can do here first. It's make:auth. We'll scaffold the basic login and registration views and routes.
Yo, let's do that.
Hello, the Mushmouth.
Shoot. So make auth. So that says, yeah, okay, sweet, let's do this. Whoa, that's so weird. What's going on there? Okay, whatever. I'll just.
Are you trying to tab?
I was trying to control backspace. So any arguments?
Nope. I mean,
No
you can use
arguments?
the help to sort of see what it's going to do.
Yeah, okay, let's see that. I'd like to know. So it just has options. It's got, yeah, okay, views, force. Yeah, no arguments. So, all right, let's go for it then. Oopsies. There we go. And it generated. It looks like it went into app. HTTP controllers, home controller.
It went into a few different places for us, but the idea is now we can go to localhost /home in our browser.
/home. Oh, great. This looks like it's got Bootstrap on it or something.
Actually, it does have Bootstrap on it. It's a very bootstrappy application. So if we put something like I'll do my branded email address here, and then password. I'm just gonna make something up and say login. Oh no, okay, so what happened? Could not find driver SQL select star from users where email. Oh wait, that's the error. I can't log in yet. I have to register first.
Yeah, okay. I clicked register and I thought I caused that error for you, but
No. You did not cause the error for me.
okay, yeah, I was thinking, because it happened like right at the same time, but I realized that there's some stream delay, so.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to register a new account. I'm just going to, for my name, I'm going to use my stream name, my account name.
Okay, great.
Let's see. Could not find driver SQL. Oh, you know what? I've seen this before. This kind of sucks as an error message because it's not telling us what the real problem is. We started serving the Laravel application after we set up the database, meaning that it still thinks that we're running MySQL.
Okay, yeah. So we need to reset.
Yeah, so all I have to do is Control-C to stop the PHP artisan serve and restart it. Mm-hmm. And now if we come back to it and I sort of set things up again. I can now create an account.
I'm going to do a basic password.
Yeah, I did too.
There you go. Hey, lovely. Yo, what the heck? That was so easy. What?
I know. Well, so
is this a joke?
It is not a joke. It is a little bit more complex to do things like OAuth if we want to have other people log in or ourselves log in as Twitch streams, which we may actually want to do in the future. For right now, this should be fine.
Okay.
But let's go in and take a look at what we've got in the database.
Yeah, what? I'm pretty confused.
I know. So is password equals password or 123. Password could be right. 123. It won't. It actually comes with some basic rules that it has to be like a minimum of 8 characters. So it can't be 123, but it can be password. Mine is a little bit simpler. It's a little bit more complex than password, but not that much more.
Yeah, mine's just barely. It's not adequate, but it's just barely not adequate, I'd say.
Well, right, but this is one of the best things about using something like a SQLite database that's local is that we don't really care about these passwords. It's just local to our computer.
Yo, so like, could you sign in to me right now? Here,
If
let me.
if I knew what your account was, yes, but I will because you're connected to my database.
Yes. So, if I really wanted to, I could try to log in as you, I guess, huh?
You could, yes. Let's go ahead and come into the terminal again. I'm in
Okay,
terminal
great.
2, and
Terminals.
we're gonna use Tinker.
Okay.
So
So I saw Tinker was interact. Yeah, interact with your application. That's pretty. That's very broad. So this is either very, powerful, or it's you know pretty
yeah,
useless.
have you ever played with let's see, the Node interactive shell?
Yes.
Think of it
So
like
that's
that,
what this.
except instead of all of PHP, it's mostly it's in the context of this application.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Uh huh.
So let's run Tinker.
Okay.
All right, so we're in this shell. Now we can't just run Tinker normally. This is only in Laravel applications or places that have Tinker installed.
Okay.
Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a look at everything that we have in the database. All PHP commands are usable here. So it's a little bit odd the way it works.
Okay.
So all it's unfortunately we're going to start with a backslash, so more Windows like. And this is not just because of like a Windows thing. It's actually just the way that Tinker works. So we're
Okay.
going to do backslash and then app with a capital A.
Interesting. Is
I think
that
it's a capital A. I might be wrong there. Then backslash. And
uh-huh.
so if we take a look in the folder structure, we have app.
Mhm.
Actually, you know what?
Bootstrap
It might be
or no?
lowercase a. We'll find out. It'll yell at us if it's wrong.
Yeah.
Notice
Okay.
that there is this user capital U user.php file.
Within
We're
app.
within app. We're essentially going to
Yeah.
be
Okay.
grabbing that. The user file is a class, has a class in it.
Okay. Yes. Class user
So
extends authenticatable.
right. So we're going to be grabbing that class. So then just type capital U user.
Okay.
And then it's kind of useless to us. So there's are you familiar with object-oriented programming and classes?
Yes.
Okay.
In the
Are you
Java aspect.
okay? And like so, therefore, inheritance and all that fun stuff.
Yes. That rabbit
So
hole.
right. So notice that the class user extends authenticatable.
Yes.
So there's going to be a static method on authenticatable that we're going to call off of user. And the way we access static methods in PHP is double colon.
Double colon. Yep. Okay. So, do we have to be in some sort of method to do that? These look like field variables or something to me.
Nope, it's just going to be here. So double colon.
All right. Oh, like okay, interesting. Like there or
We're in Tinker.
oh, in Tinker. Oh, okay.
And then all.
Oh.
And then,
ALL?
yeah, this is going to be a function. So
Semicolon?
you actually don't need semicolons in Tinker, but it doesn't
Do you need
hurt
it in
either.
PHP?
You do.
Yeah, okay. So we'll just always use it, I guess. I
Okay.
don't know.
So go ahead and run it.
All right. Oh, interesting. Wow.
I know. So this is live. This is what's actually in the database.
So these do. So I see these protected fields, these attributes that are mass assignable. Okay, okay. Yeah. So fillable, and then there are hidden and then casts. So when it says hidden, we just can't see it.
So you can see the comments. It's like attributes that should be hidden for arrays. Let's not worry about this right now.
Okay.
If we ever need to sort of like deal with like hiding the stuff ourselves, then we can add these in. For right now, I'm thinking that just sort of knowing that we have access to this is the really important stuff. And Tinker allows us to sort of play with this before going to our code and actually seeing it.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So that's sort of like what I wanted to show you is that in Tinker, we could actually see the contents of the database
Live,
easily.
Essentially.
Yeah, without having to do SQL commands to see it.
So I do have one question. This might be a little bit off task, but like when they say password, is this like salted and hashed and everything, or is it?
Yeah. So you notice we can't actually see the password. That's because it's hidden.
Okay.
It is salted and hashed.
Okay, good. Okay. Sweet. So it would be, use in production as is what you're saying.
That's the idea. So like the idea of Laravel is that you don't need to worry about this stuff yourself. They're going to take care of it all for you.
Lovely. Okay.
And if you need to change like how it's salted and how it's hashed, there are methods that exist that you can go find where they're doing it and put in there. Is it peppered as well? Sure. Yeah, it's definitely well seasoned for, so it tastes good to the database. Okay, well, the entire idea for this is because we want to create a route that if we hit it, it can tell if we're at your page or my page. And now that we're both in the database, we can actually do that.
Awesome. Okay, let's do this.
So let's go back to the web.php page.
So if I go out on a limb and just try something, could I do something like that? Is this like the templating or something?
So that's a really good question, and we'll find out. So the first thing we're going to do is we have to now get access to this. Like, does this exist? Like, and where are we going to get access to it?
Yes. And where can we like send it to the view?
Right. So this is going to be on like the streamers page. So this entire page is going to get, the web page is going to get really, it's going to get a bit overwhelming if we keep on adding all of our routes here and all the logic to it. So let's go and we're going to create a, what is it? We're going to create a controller for it.
Okay. So would that be in a new file?
I'm going to create a new terminal 3.
Yes. Okay.
So if you could request access to it.
There we go. It's like I have to type in it. I have to attempt to be in it.
Right. All right. So cool. The cool thing here is that you never need to create files yourself, or at least for the most part you don't.
Okay.
So we're going to use artisan to create a controller.
Okay. So PHP artisan. I'm gonna do the help again. So, oh wait, no. It's not. It's not help. It's just this. It's controller. So under where would that be?
So all the ones where you're creating stuff is under
Oh,
make.
make controller. Yeah. Okay. Make controller. Make a new controller class. Okay. And so I'll just run that.
Yeah, so we're just going to make a controller, and then we have to think about what we want to name it.
Okay.
Are there any controllers right now? There's like a home controller. The controllers are going to go into app HTTP controllers.
So app HTTP and then controllers. Yes. Okay. I see it. So right now we have home controller. Okay.
Right.
Great.
And this is going to be a class. So the default is to name it with a capital, like Pascal case, capital.
Okay.
Starting with a capital letter.
Okay. So what will this controller be? Will that be like user home page or something?
I'm thinking like a streamer controller.
Streamer controller. That sounds better. So just like this. Oh, it did it again. That's so weird. Hang on. This is odd. Like it's completely clearing out what I'm typing.
Oh, you know what?
Now I can't even see what I typed.
Let me try that.
There we go. There. Yes.
I have it on the left side of my screen, which means it was rolling over to the next line.
Oh, okay.
Which I didn't think it was going to be like affecting it for you, but apparently it was.
That is odd. That's really
It
odd.
was still there.
Huh.
It was still there. I could see you typing into it, but I guess you couldn't see it.
Huh. So streamer controller, just like that. That'd be good.
Just like that.
So it'll put that in the controllers as is. Lovely. Awesome.
Right. So now we can go take a look at that. It's a super, super basic file.
Mm-hmm.
So let's think about what the function is. If we take a look at the home controller, we can get an idea about what these can look like.
Okay. So they've got a constructor, it looks like.
We don't really need to care about that right now.
Oh, yes. Okay. So I'm just gonna go to controller. Or wait.
Like we're not going to need to.
Index. Here we go.
We don't need to do this ourselves, but this one we definitely want to do something like it.
Okay. So maybe I should just copy paste.
We don't need to copy and paste.
Okay.
So something
index...
I've learned when learning, it's really helpful to just create them all ourselves.
Type it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm gonna put that there. Okay. So I guess just a public function.
Yeah. Public function.
Index.
Index is actually a standard naming scheme for Laravel. Is going to be the web page.
Okay. What does that mean exactly?
What it really means is that it's assumed that we're going to be going to a get to something, and we're going to be returning HTML.
Okay. So if I do a return view, if I just return the same view as what was it? Landing? What if I just did landing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could definitely do that.
And so now if we well, I mean, okay, so I guess now the next step is how do we get this controller to actually be used?
Okay, so let's delete this function that we have.
Okay. Get rid of this.
And the second argument to get is going to be the name of the controller. And then the at. Yeah.
Is going to be the function name?
Yes.
That's odd. It's like taking the string and then it's It's like
I,
calling it as a function.
I know this is going to be the first of the true black magic that we're seeing. Um,
Okay.
really, what's
Getting
happening
into like
is
JavaScript area
um,
almost.
maybe
I mean, not
it's
literal JavaScript, but
yeah, it's more of they're going to take the string and they have
Mhm.
they've already compiled all of the classes that we've created into memory,
Okay.
and so they're just going to look and they've created instances of that class, and they're going to now look
Okay.
up and say, okay, I want this stream controller. Well, this looks to
Mhm.
me a lot like they're going to use it in maybe some kind of object lookup table,
Mhm.
and then the value of that lookup table would probably be um, the instance of the class, the controller.
So when we do this arrow thing, can't you like so if we had something like this, right? Uh I'm just copying this. Couldn't you like tag on another one? Like
So it depends
is
upon
that how
what's
the arrows work?
returned. It depends upon what is returned.
Okay.
So thin arrows like this are
Uh-huh.
used to um, are used for figuring out what's inside like like an object that has been spun up from a class.
Okay. So
So
when we call the name function, what does that do like right here?
so basically whatever is returned from get
Mhm.
is an
Yes.
object that has a
Mhm.
name key,
Yes.
and then that name value is a function.
Mhm. So, okay, and then you're calling that
And then we're executing it,
with home.
yes.
Okay.
And then we're passing in a home string as an argument.
Okay. Okay. Great. Awesome.
Now, ours is not that complex. Like, we don't need to worry about this very much.
Mhm.
We're just going to do this, and then it's going to send our traffic over into the streamer controller. It's going to run the index function for us, and then that's going
Yes.
to tell it what to happen. So let's try it.
Okay. I mean, okay, so in web, is that colon user thing, is that valid to do?
Um, web,
Let's see, I
yes,
guess.
absolutely, absolutely, because the at is going to then after that tell it what the function name on the class that we want. We don't actually have to name it index. It could be named whatever we want.
Oh no, I mean like this part. Like what about this? You see what I'm highlighting?
Oh yeah, well we're going to find out, right?
Yeah. I
Short
got a
answer is
404, so I guess it
is
didn't work.
okay. So if I go, so let's see, that doesn't work. I think that where it is fine. Let's go to the documentation.
Okay, great.
Kael asks, is Kael familiar with JavaScript? The thin arrow is just like in dot access methods on the class, right? Yes.
Okay.
And I believe, yeah, you're
The
familiar with JavaScript, right?
Yes. I thought the last time, I guess it was just a library I was using, like I was using something to interact with PayPal, and I guess it was uh immutable. Like the data type I was using was immutable, so it allowed me to just chain those small arrows, those thin arrows, and so I was thinking maybe that's like an immutable executor, but I guess it was just a library.
Oh no, it's more of it's actually a pattern in functional programming, which is higher level functions. You return a function.
Okay.
Um,
Huh.
we may get into that. I don't know if we're gonna end up like creating any things that return functions, but
That'd be neat.
that's yeah that's actually what happening on that line 22 in web, which is it's returning a function that we're then or
Calling
it's returning an object that we're then accessing the name key
the
off of
name.
that object. Yeah, it's a little bit of a it's interesting to say, but once you get used to the idea of chaining operators through returns, it opens up a new world for you to program with.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, so this kind of isn't working. Let's actually do this. If we don't do like colon, if we just do like slash, let's not use user. Let's just do like slash,
Okay.
I don't know, blah.
Yeah. So
And
yeah. Let's try that.
and then if we go to slash blah,
Then we get our landing.
it works. So that lets us know that that colon is not the correct way to do it. So let's go find out how it is. So I'm gonna just go to Laravel.com.
I did see a little bit of a. Oh no. Okay, hang on. Ooh. Yes. So I see brackets. I'm on. So I see URLs for named routes. It seems like to generate. No. Yeah. It looks like we kind of go like this. Streamer name. I don't know. It looks like that. I don't
Okay.
know. The thing I'm looking at, I don't know.
Well, let's try it. So if you save that,
Mhm.
then if I just hit refresh, it should still work.
Yeah. So it still works. So
And if
blah
I now
is
go
the
to
username.
Brookzerker, it goes to this page.
Lovely.
All right. So we're a little bit over our time right now. Are you okay with like going until we get our names on the page and then?
Yeah, I would like. That's where I was hoping we'd get to today.
Okay. So it's gonna be a little bit over time, but we'll go until we get our names on our page, and then we'll call it there, and then we'll next week just sort of continue on.
Yes, sounds like a deal.
All right. So what that means is now we have to get access to like this actual route query that we put in
Yes.
here. So inside of Streamer Controller, we're going to have access to the request. So
awesome.
do you see that on line 5 we have this use illuminate HTTP request?
Yes. Is that the type?
Yeah, it is. It's a class. So request is a class. So we can do request space request. Yes. However, PHP has all of our variables start with a $sign.
Okay. Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So the type comes first, and then the variable name. Now this request, because we've done it here, is just set up for this specific thing. Now it can get a little bit more interesting too. If we do, we don't even need a request, I believe. We could replace this with just the username, like a username variable.
So would that have a type to it?
I think it's just streamer name, and let's return streamer name.
Okay.
And let's see if we got it.
Okay, let's see. Yo, that's nuts.
Okay, so here's a little bit more magic coming in. Streamer name is only available on the request. But because this is in a controller, and because we're doing things according to the way that Laravel wants us to do them, they're actually going to see, hey, you've got a variable name that matches. And I think that's what it is. If I take like the E off and I save it, let's see if it really. Okay, it's not that it's not that tricky. Okay. It just says, hey, look, you want that variable. We know you want that variable. So therefore, we're going to pass that in if you have a variable here.
Okay.
So now you have access to the streamer name.
Awesome. Okay.
And we can pass that directly in, but we're going to want information about the user, right? So we're going to want to do that query that we did in Tinker, get information about the user, and essentially pass that in. Like we're going to pass that into our view.
So, like in Tinker, if I do like I'm in the second terminal. If I do, oh sorry. So app user, can I do like find or something? Can I make like a query?
Oh, something weird happened.
Yeah, I know that was weird.
Try it.
I don't know like any of the find. Okay, too few arguments.
So find actually does exist. It just needs you to tell it. It just needs to know what you're trying to find.
You know, if this were a JavaScript thing, I'd be like, oh, oops, so awkward. Okay, like, I don't know, name, and then like that.
Right. So the problem is that you can't. So you can't create objects without classes in PHP. There's no sort of JavaScript style creating the object just out of nothing. What you can do is, and so here's where the first sort of weird thing that PHP does. In order to give you that ability, you use an array.
Okay. Is that how you would do an array?
Yes, that's how you do an array. But here's where it's really crazy. An array is, in my mind, more of an object, like a JavaScript style object. Because we can, if you just put an item in there, it will auto increment starting with 0, the index. You can also set the index yourself, but more usefully, you can set a key for it, which could be anything you want.
So we could do something like this.
And yes, however, it's not colon.
Okay.
It's fat arrow.
Fat arrow. Like that?
Like that.
Is it convention to use the spaces and all the quotes, or?
It doesn't really matter. I don't actually know if there's a convention to use spaces. A lot of people do.
Okay. So if I run this, we get an empty array. Huh.
So it couldn't find that. Let's see. Did we search for Kael? Yeah, so that looks like it was correct. So that didn't find it exactly. I wonder if it would be switch the find to where.
Okay, where? Do I keep the quotes?
Yeah, you're gonna want the quotes on there.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh, it still doesn't.
That was nothing. Huh.
I forget like how find might actually be more simple, where it just takes two items, like the name of the name of the column, and then the value that you want.
Okay.
Now, the easy thing that we could do is we could just go over to the Laravel documentation. We're going to go into the, where is it? Database, query builder.
Database, there we go. Okay. Query builder.
And essentially like the selects area. But what we want to do is we want to find, or we want to do the find.
Find? We do want to find. So the find method, that said find 3. I'm not finding much on find, but I do see a lot of where. Like, what if we did this? I'm just reading, and it seems like if we do this, hang on. Name. Let me actually put a space. Like that.
It just gives us the builder, so it's not an error. It actually works. Let's put
Oh, hang on. Might have gotten this first. Oh, like that. Hey.
Yeah.
Sweet. So that returned an instance of a class, and we're accessing the first property on it, and then calling that property.
Yeah. And I'm really curious if I just go back to all
Yeah.
and then say, hey, if off of all, can I now do
Bind.
like aware?
Oh, huh.
So name is
Huh. So, which would be more efficient?
so this the one I just did is kind of really silly, I think, because it's grabbing them all and then it's like
Yeah.
doing it. But I actually don't
Yeah.
know if the black magic is good enough to like say like, hey, you're getting all
Like
and then
lazy
filtering
evaluate.
down. Don't do that. It might rewrite it, but it might not. Like I don't actually know. Um,
And that's returning an array, not just a single user.
yeah, and
It
so like
seems.
if I do this again, we get oh the find. We want to do find to. Okay, so it's null off of this. So I wonder if I have to do something like all.
Oh wait. So that worked.
That's weird.
That's odd. Yeah.
Nope, it's not really doing it.
Okay.
I don't think we need to use find because we're gonna need to use where stuff more often.
Okay.
And also there's some other things that database is going to allow us to do. We won't have to do that much query building for us.
Hmm.
Now, here's the really cool thing. We actually have access to the auth stuff because we can say you must be authenticated to reach this page.
Okay.
Now, we don't really need that right now because anybody should be able to
Yeah.
go to this page. So we have
Right.
access to the streamer name. We want to like find it. We already know we can get there through the where. So we need access. Let's do the query to grab the users and
Yes.
only find the users for that for this person.
Interesting. That's gonna be interesting. So DB, they have this DB thing. It looks like.
Don't worry about it too much. Like I think you might be overthinking it.
Would it not be like okay? So if I go like this, right? Something like that. Am I on the right path there?
Nope, because it's over complex. We can do the exact same
Okay.
thing we did in Tinker.
Are you saying like literally this?
Like literally that.
Whoa. Okay. Okay. And where name streamer name and then
Well, I don't actually know if we need the first or not,
okay.
because we're only going to find one.
Ideally, yeah. But I mean, when I didn't do first though, it gave me a builder. So do we want to do
Let's
something with that builder?
we'll find out. Let's try this. Let's try without the first, just to see what happens, and we have to put the results of this into a variable.
Okay. So what would that be, a builder?
No. It's actually so. While there's types in PHP, there's no need to like assign types to something.
So you don't have to. Okay. Let's just name it streamer data. I don't know.
Yeah, or it could just be streamer.
Streamer. Yeah. Okay.
All right, and let's return streamer.
All right.
All right, let's go back to
Oh,
here.
failed to say the content of the file is newer. That's odd.
Oh, I may have accidentally, here, I'll save.
Okay. So now
Object. Okay, so I think you're right.
Yeah.
We have to get like the first. We have to like complete the query.
Okay. So should I just go like this?
I mean, we could. It does make more sense to put it right here.
Okay.
Is there anything
I
else?
agree. I just go ahead and try it.
Yeah.
Hey, that worked. It's just JSON. Lovely.
Exactly. So it's just JSON. There's one more thing that I want to show you, which is a little bit nicer. Before the return, we can do DD, which is a function, and then hand in streamer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go and hit refresh.
Whoa.
So this isn't super helpful but what you're seeing is essentially the class and what is kind of available to us, but it's not showing us the data itself.
Okay. So it's just giving us like okay, interesting. It's giving us kind of just class information, yeah. Huh.
Yeah. And it's giving you like what's available off of like and what's happening to it. So it's a way of debugging to figure out like what's really going on here.
So what is DD? Does that put it?
Oh, I forget the name, like what it means. Maybe somebody in chat will let us know what DD stands for. But if you want to see what's actually in the data, attributes has it.
Attributes. So attributes. There we go. Array with 8. Okay, awesome. I don't like this view as much, but it's good to know.
Yeah, like, it is good to know. You could return, or you can do ZD, or you can do both. But
so I find it really, really odd that we didn't like. If it were a pure function or something, we'd go like this, right? But it's clearly not. It's clearly modifying streamer and making some changes to streamer.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? When you return it, it figures out what you want to do and does that, as opposed to what you told it to do.
Huh. That's awkward. That's really awkward.
So it's just more of the black magic, right? They're doing some stuff behind the scenes, and what you're doing is you're returning data. They're looking at what the type of data that you're returning and figuring out what it thinks you want.
I don't know if I quite like that.
You'll have to make that decision on your own. For right now, let's change things up. Let's return a view. So we don't have a view available for this right now. So let's go ahead and like before we do anything with this, let's go create that view.
Can we do it? Can we use a make just to do it for us?
So I don't think that there's a make for views, unfortunately.
What the heck?
I know. We have to create this file ourselves. So under resources views, let's create a streamers folder.
Streamers folder, okay.
And then inside of there, we could have maybe like a streamer. I guess we'll have like an index page.
Index.blade.php.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Now, I don't see that file. It didn't pop up. Can you start editing it?
Yeah, let me just generate some HTML.
Where did it go?
Uh,
I see
so I
something
saved it.
there.
Oh, it seems to be like you're in
There
it
it
now.
is.
Okay, sweet.
All right. It didn't update until I like found it in the open editors and clicked on it. Okay, so we have stream page, and then what we want to do is maybe like an H1 tag, and let's we can do something like homepage, like welcome to, and then like the streamer's name page.
And then streamers, just as a placeholder.
Maybe, but let's actually change from streamers
I'd
to
like
like the actual username.
Okay, great.
So this is going to be very, very similar to what we saw before. So it's going to be like mustache. Or sorry, like handlebars.
Streamer name.
Yeah, so we could do streamer name, or you know what? We could just do name.
Name, okay.
And because
we're in the context.
Right. But this is also PHP, so we need a $sign in front of it.
Oh yeah, okay. Interesting. That is interesting. Okay.
I know, something to constantly remember, right? Now this won't work. We'll get an error because name won't be found.
Oh, and we're not even returning.
And we're not even pointing at this right now. But now that we know that we need name in here, we can start figuring some of this other stuff out.
Okay.
All right. So if we come back to streamer controller. Mm-hmm. So first of all, this query that we're doing is kind of useless right now because we already have the streamer name. However, what I'm thinking of is that if the streamer name doesn't exist, we want to just redirect them to somewhere else. So let's try this. If the streamer doesn't exist, let's just return streamer again, like we're doing right now. But in our browser, let's go to something that doesn't exist.
So, yep. So it's blank.
Yeah, we're going to need to DD this to find out what really is inside of streamer.
Yeah, okay. No.
Okay. So this could be a pretty simple if.
Should I triple that equal? Or is there like an is null?
So I think we can do just do like if streamer, but like we could do if streamer equals double equals null.
So this is saying triple equals, and then like I searched up on Stack, it's saying like this.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay, let's do that.
Does double equal work? Or, I don't know.
It does work. I think both work. I actually don't remember the real difference. Let's go take a look at PHP triple equals comparison operators.
So the double versus triple is exactly how it is in JavaScript. It's the casting.
I like how they call it juggling here.
Really?
Yeah. The page I found on the PHP documentation is after type juggling.
So null is falsy. So we could just say if streamer.
Right. So we could just do if streamer.
So let's just do that. If streamer.
We could also do it depends if we want to do like an early return or not. Yeah, that works too. So let's handle the other case first. Else we can return redirect, and then we'll just send them to slash.
Like that?
Yep.
Yo, let's see this then. Yep. Does it. Interesting. Yep. Redirects. Awesome. So could we do just something like this? I may uh ooh, there could be something nuts going on, but thinking like that.
Let's try it.
Uh so that's good for that. And yeah, it did it.
So
So
we can do this. And this is fine for right now. If if it gets too long and we need to start wrapping the lines, it can get a little bit iffy.
yes, okay. I was just like, I don't know, like since this is falsy, could we do something like this? Like, I just want to test this, just to
Yeah.
test. Okay, yeah, that had trouble.
No, it doesn't like that. It's not
Dang.
quite like
Okay.
JavaScript in that way.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I
we'll
like
just
these
go to the if
experimentations. That's how we learn new languages.
You know, I mean, like, what was it? Dart has something like this, where you can go like that, and just kind of like this. So if this exists and it puts it there, I guess it is really like the or. I've never seen this, but it's not giving me an error in my coding thing. Oh, ooh. Yo, that worked.
So yeah, that works. If we go to the comparison, is there a question mark question mark? I don't see it. I have to look that up to see what it is. I'm still new enough to PHP that I haven't run into that yet. But I also haven't programmed in Dart, so I haven't seen that elsewhere either. Aha, no coalescing operator. The expression question mark expression 2 evaluates to expression 2 if expression 1 is null and expression 1 otherwise. So yeah, it's exactly what do you think?
Sweet. Yo, this is cool.
So in this first one, let's just switch this to return the view that we created.
Yeah, let's get rid of this. That was just an experiment for now. So if streamer, then we'll return. So view.
Yeah. Now we put it inside of a folder, right? So we have to name the folder.
Yeah. So that was streamers.
Yep. And then dot instead of slash.
Oh, interesting.
I know.
Okay.
Interesting. We're telling it where to find it, not actually the real path.
Okay. Okay. Great. So when we return that view,
we're gonna get an error. I
get
believe. Are we? Did we save it?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So it's because the name doesn't exist. So the second argument to the view is going to be the data.
Okay. So
it's not going to be quite that simple. We're going to give it an array.
Awesome.
And
like that? Kind of?
Yes, except instead of colon is that fat arrow. So yes, exactly like that. So save that.
Let's try this. Interesting. Welcome to... Okay. Let's see. Let me try this. Let me see. Nate. So this would be... Can I do that? I'm editing index blade.
Yep, I found it.
Nope, that didn't work.
Well, why do you say it didn't work?
Undefined variable streamer. Oh, right. Well, I guess we could do this in different places. I don't know why I'm... Yeah, okay, that worked.
There you go.
Sweet.
And so now we have like this custom page. So we can go to my page or your page, and but nobody else's page. And if anybody else signs up, we can go to their page too.
Let me go to yours. Oh, this is great. What the heck?
So this is the power of using Like we spent what 2.5 hours, and most of it
Hmm.
was just sort of exploring the language. But we've already got 3 pages up. Two of them are really the
Hmm.
same page,
An,
but
an,
depending
an
upon what
entire
data we go to,
authentication system.
and an entire
Yeah.
authentication system. So this is using Laravel is used by quite a few companies, like for real. But let's do a really quick sort of recap of what we did. Um,
Okay.
do you want to take that on, or do you want me to do it?
I'll try. I'll try. I'll just look at the README. Did we accomplish anything on the README? Well,
Uh,
not really, but so what we did, if I remember back, so first we initialized the entire thing, and then we kind of tinkered around with the page, the home page, and then after that we created the authentication. And then did we like migrate? We like created the migrations. Um and then we created another migration, or we created what did we create? What was that called?
we created a migration, but then we realized we didn't need it.
Oh, yeah, okay. So we created the migration and then we deleted that one. But we also, what was it? We ran migrate, right? Okay. So that ran the migrations. Okay. I'm getting bogged down in the semantics or something. But then after that, what did we do? Um, where did we go from there?
So
Did we create
the
that new one?
most of it was just exploration of the language, but what we ended up doing was we created a new template in the views,
Okay.
and we also created a controller for all the streamers
To handle it, right?
to handle that. We created a new route that went to each user,
Mm-hmm.
and then we basically say, okay, if you hit this route and you pass in, you're going to pass in a username, like an actual Twitch page, and if that person exists, we're going to find them in the database, and if they exist,
Mm-hmm.
then we're going to render the page and hand that user data to the template.
Okay. So just a little bit of a recap, like or not necessarily recap. So I'm in streamer controller.
Mm-hmm.
So in streamer controller, this entire thing this will be ran on the server, pretty much.
Correct.
And on the index.blade, that's gonna be evaluated on the server and then sent, like the data is gonna be sent over to the client, or is it gonna be uh, rendered on the client?
So we haven't set up any view stuff yet. Like all this is
Right.
just backend everything.
This is all backend. Okay.
In fact, like
Okay.
we
Good
may
to
we
know.
may pivot, we may not use Vue, we may not need to. It sort of like depends
Mhm.
upon whether or not we feel a front end framework will be helpful for us. Right
Mhm.
now, it compiles the Blade templates into HTML and then sends the raw HTML up.
Okay. So if our connection to the database is super slow, then it's gonna take a while for us to even get any HTML. Is what you're
Correct.
saying?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. That may be. Hmm.
The
I guess
connection
that's
to the
good.
database should never be slow. That should always be
Yeah.
fast because we can control it, right? It's the connection
Mhm.
to the user that's going to be slow. But if we take a look um,
Mhm.
at how much data was sent over, and we can use
Mhm.
that with the network.
Yes.
This was
Very little.
in total 1.3 kilobytes.
So tiny, tiny, tiny.
incredibly tiny. If we add in view for this and make this all a single page application, it's going to be significantly larger.
Like how large?
It depends upon the front end application. View,
Okay.
I don't actually remember how much that is. I don't think it's a megabyte, but it's getting closer.
Whoa, for real?
Yeah.
Whoa, I remember like when it's zipped or
It's
compiled,
going to be
or
something
I don't
like
know.
half a megabyte or maybe a little bit less than
Mhm.
that. If we do put in view, we will find that out pretty quickly.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, good first stream.
Hey, Just
Dan's here.
FML showed up in chat. Yeah,
Howdy.
welcome, Just FML. We're just finishing up. All right. So, any questions? Any last questions before we finish? Kael.
I do have a lot of questions, but like that'll be for next week, I guess, really. It's really just kind of I guess just my last question was about the back end. Like all of this is executed on the back end and it's all just being sent to the user all in one big blob. Nothing's executing in terms of JavaScript on the client side.
Correct. We have no CSS or JavaScript on our front end yet.
So I guess one question, it's just kind of I'm in streamer controller. So on line 11, is this a good practice right here?
Not, I mean, kind of, but also not necessarily. There's no need to like put the /app/user here. Notice on line 5 we have that use.
Yes.
We can actually do that ourselves. So we can come up here and add another line and just do use /app/user.
So now, can we just go like that?
Nope,
Or
we
do
have to
say,
do
like as DB.
we could do, but it's easier just do user.
User, okay. Interesting. Okay, that's not semantically. It's not as like smooth as I'd like it to be. But you know.
Yeah, it's not super like as smooth. Also, there's some other things that we can do in the model where we can add in queries, so that it will do the queries on like behind the scenes.
Okay.
But this is fine for right now.
Okay. Great. Well, I mean, not really. Haven't got any questions, but
All right, so I have this this GitHub page. I'm gonna share this out with everybody again right now.
Okay.
I will
GitHub page or
the page for the repo,
just
the
the
GitHub
code?
repo.
Okay. Okay.
And before I forget, let's actually push all of these changes up. So I'm going to close all these windows, make sure we save them all. There you go. And we're just going to say, what did we do? We also
I don't know when the last one.
You know what? It lost the message thing. I'm really sad about that.
Lost the message thing? What does that mean?
Yeah, the with you. How do I co-authored by? That's what I need to do.
Hack the planet.
Okay. So copy. Put this in here. Okay, so we're gonna say basic streamer route setup, and I'm gonna add in co-authored by you, and push that up.
Huh. Awesome. Let's.
I'm gonna go ahead and watch this, so that way I can see any changes to it. Both for you, Kael, and also for anybody who's watching, if you have any questions about like what is going on, what's happening, suggestions, comments, or anything else, please go ahead and add an issue to this repo. And then we can, like, at the beginning of each Sunday when we're doing this, we'll just go ahead and go over any new issues that have come up and chat about them. We can't promise that any feature requests will actually add in, but it could be an interesting sort of talking point to have. Also, this is open source.
I'm gonna write up an issue.
Without asking you, Kael, I just went ahead and made this an MIT open source application. Great. So if any of you want to create this for yourself and sort of follow along, you can go ahead and fork this project at any time, and then just use the code.
Well, great. I created an issue. I don't know if we'll be addressing it first thing, but that was just a question I had.
Yeah.
I'm excited about hosting it.
Yeah. So that will be really interesting to see, like, how are we going to host it? Do we like also my preference is to host it that costs the least amount of money. So
I agree.
Yeah. I will. These are also things that I'll be looking up. We're going to be doing this stream every Sunday from 7 a.m. Colorado time, so that's Mountain Time, to 9 a.m. Or what's your time zone?
Mine is Central, so that would be 8 a.m. to 10.
As Zuno suggests, he can Zuno, you can host it for free. I guess you could. Are you talking about like just a server in your house, or I mean, I'm thinking most likely
Heroku. Yeah. That's exactly what. Yeah.
Heroku is usually pretty good.
I do like Heroku. I would always use it for just personal projects, but like, I don't know. I'd want to. I don't know how well Heroku would work with. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting caught up in the big names like Google Cloud and AWS and stuff like that. Like, I'd want to be able to host it there. He owns a dedicated server. That'd be neat too. And like, I don't know, just like continuous integration with AWS is really cool. Getting that going. So I'd want to know how to do that with Vue and
as just Smile mentioned, Heroku actually uses AWS behind the scenes.
Whoa, okay, interesting.
So I like what you said, continuous integration. And
testing. I'm going to add that as an issue.
Yeah. So next time we'll come in, we'll look at all these. We can add them to the README and the plan, and we'll sort of figure them out as we go into it. All right. Well,
awesome.
Where can people find you, Kael?
They can find me on Twitter and YouTube and GitHub. You know, really, you can just kind of go to my website and it'll show you where I am.
I think I went to the wrong.
I guess I'll just.
I tried to go to your Twitter, but I think I went to it wrong. It's KeelInator.
KaelInator 17.
17. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, big giant tiger.
I got my first one suspended. Yeah.
You got your. Oh, that suspended account is yours?
Yeah, that was mine. When I made that, I was like 11, and then I accidentally put my actual birth date in, and then it was like, oops, can't do that.
Yeah. All right, so that's where you can be found on Twitter. I'll probably into the description of this video. You could send me on Slack all of your like the locations where you are, and I'll put that into there, and then eventually we'll actually like advertise this out properly. And once we have our stream schedule page, we'll put our schedule on there, and then everybody can find us there.
There we go. Exactly.
Zuno, are you guys like pro PHP programmers, web programmers? I am a pro Pro sounds so weird. I'm a professional web
Yeah,
developer.
professional.
Um, I've been doing it for a few years. I've been learning PHP for through 2 weeks. Um, and Kael, you're brand new to PHP, and you're a young one, so you're also relatively new to programming too.
Indeed, I had a little bit of PHP, but that was 4 years ago, and I forgot most of it.
All right, so
And I don't even know, like, no framework. It was straight PHP. I'm pretty sure. Like, it was nuts. Anyways.
all right. With that, I have my contact information down below in the stream. If you're watching this on Twitch, you can find my Twitter and my YouTube links. I'm going to be archiving these videos to YouTube. They'll also be archived here on Twitch too. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see when those links go up. I'll also tweet out about them, and I'll be tweeting out when we're going to go live next week on Sunday. And I also am planning on streaming every day next week. So starting tomorrow through Friday in the morning for an hour before heading off to work. So that's around 6:45 to 7:45 Mountain Time in the morning. With that, I don't have anything else. Do you have any last words, Kael?
Nope. Catch me on kaelkirk.com. I wish I could sign into my Twitch right now so I could paste that in chat, but kaelkirk.com. Yep.
All right.
But yeah, that's all.
All right. Well, with that, thank you everybody for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.